to this weekly update with myself, Sarah Lean. Now, today's audio update is slightly different than the video one. I actually did a live stream for the video version of this, and I was out and about in Glasgow, and I pointed out some locations and history about where I was standing and stuff like that. So I didn't think it was quite appropriate for the audio version, as I didn't think that would be any good to you guys and girls listening, because it would just make no sense. So I'm recording a separate edition of this weekly update. Now, this weekly update is number 100 for me, so I have done 100 of these videos. I'm not sure I'm quite at 100 audio versions of it, but 100 is a big milestone for me. So yeah, that was why I did a live stream, to kind of celebrate that milestone for me. And we're coming up to the 2-year one, so yeah, this has definitely been a massive journey for me. Now, in terms of the news this week, we've got some fun stuff and some Azure stuff as well. Microsoft tweeted out a few days ago that if they got so many likes on a social media post, that they would actually bring back Clippy as a emoji. So Clippy is a wee assistant that we used to have back in the olden days almost, for those that aren't aware, within like Microsoft Word and stuff, and would help you do things, and you'd be able to ask him things as well. He's been gone for quite a while, and there's much nostalgia around all of that. And what Microsoft have now done is they've updated all of their emojis within Microsoft 365. And when they updated the paperclip one, they've actually replaced the flat, boring paperclip with an emoji of Clippy. So I think that went live yesterday, so the 15th of July. But I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take to roll down to everybody's. So stay tuned for that and watch out for those new updated emojis, including Clippy as well. Now, staying on the Microsoft 365 side of things, at Microsoft Inspire this week, which is the Microsoft Partner Conference that is running, they announced Windows 365. Now, Windows 365 is built on Azure virtual desktops, and it's basically a SaaS solution, so a software as a service solution, meaning that if you have no VDI experience, if you have no experience of running or implementing a virtual desktop environment, then you can look to leverage Windows 365. Now, for me, maybe this is an oversimplification of the choice, but Azure Virtual Desktop offers you the flexibility to control everything for yourself. You can set it up how you want it, you can scale it up, you can scale it down. There's a lot of configurable settings within that version of the virtual desktop environment. Whereas Windows 365 is going to be there for simplicity. So if you are maybe a small business and you're looking to implement virtual desktop, then you can absolutely use this version without any experience and minimum kind of maintenance, from what I understand. I believe the service goes live on the 2nd of August, if I've read the marketing correctly. But it's going to be interesting to see how this helps, and I think it's definitely going to help those small to medium businesses much more than, say, Azure Virtual Desktop was, which is quite complicated to set up and manage. Now, other news, we have seen a PowerShell vulnerability announced. So to make sure that you are not affected by this vulnerability, if you are running PowerShell 7.0, make sure you are on 7.0.6. And if you're running PowerShell 7.1, make sure you're on 7.1.3, and that way you can avoid the vulnerabilities. Now, I updated my PowerShell version yesterday through the Windows Package Manager, so make sure you are looking at that, and maybe looking at that as an option to update your PowerShell as well. Now, in preview, we saw the Azure Bastion standard SKU be released. So this is in public preview, and this gives you access to premium features to help you manage remote connectivity at a larger scale. So another great feature from the Azure Bastion team there as well. Now, the last bit of news I just want to call out is that in Azure Stack HCI, it now supports this cool feature that we've had in Hyper-V technology for quite a while, which is called Automatic Virtual Machine Activation, or AVMA. So what you can do here now is input your key into the host, so the Azure Stack HCI host, and then any virtual machines that you host on that will inherit that key, meaning that they are automatically licensed and automatically activated, and you don't have to manually do that. You don't have to manually manage that and check that the license is activated. And this is something that we've had, like I said, in the Hyper-V technology since I think server 2012 R2, but it's now been introduced into Azure Stack HCI. With the Azure Stack HCI cumulative update from June 2021, you can actually do this, you can use this AVMA feature either through PowerShell or through the Windows Admin Console management of your Azure Stack HCI. So very cool things there. So something to look at if you maybe have missed that feature when you were using it within Hyper-V and you need to use it within your Azure Stack HCI environment as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do let me know if you find these audio versions of these weekly updates very good. You can reach me on Twitter, you can reach me on LinkedIn and Facebook and all the different platforms. I would love to hear your feedback on things I could potentially improve and maybe add to this version of the updates as well. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and here's to celebrating more milestones on this wonderful journey.